Hey, Tony Gas is here, leaving the office. Now, I did a video called Why Is It So Hard for Men to Fall in Love? And to be honest with you, I don't remember a single word I said, because when I film the videos, I'm just flowing in the spirit. And some people don't understand the nuances of relationships or men and women. And so what you have to realize, sometimes when I'm explaining something, I'm explaining an angle or a point that it may not make sense to you in that moment, but instead of commenting, just sit and watch it a few times, because what I see is some people they'll jump in the comments with their take on it, and it takes and it redirects and it puts it on something completely different. And the purpose of the message is lost, because people are looking for what's comfortable, what's easy, what's soothing. And so I saw somebody say, this seems like it means more responsibility for the woman than the man. And that's depending on how you're looking at it. Because if you take personal responsibility for yourself, and you do everything that you are called to do, then you will see a change. And here's the thing that I want y'all women to understand. It won't benefit you being mad because you feel like you have to be the more responsible adult. It won't benefit you. So you got to suck it up and be who God has called you to be. And you have to remember that men and women are not created the same. And in the sight of God, men and women are completely different. And when you read the Bible, you'll see that a man had a lot more leeway than a woman. A man had a lot more that God required of him, but he also had a lot more that he could do. And when you look in the Bible, you got to remember that God called a man to be the head. He called a man to lead. And what the devil wants to do is to destroy that mission. So what a woman's place is to do is to remember that the devil is going to attack your man way harder than he's going to attack you, because the man is the head. So he wants the man to be thrown off kilter. He wants the man to be out of his element. He wants the man to be something different, to be less than. He wants the man to be disobedient. So the spiritual warfare he gonna put on the head is gonna be a whole lot stronger. That's why, think about it. Who gamble the most? Men. Who drank the most alcohol? Men. Who smoked the most weed? Men. Who cheat the most? Men. People don't want to believe that, but you got to remember, I'm actually out here in the field, fingers on the pulse, studying. Men. Who beat the most? Men. Who kill the most? Men. Who walk away from the family the most? Men. Don't bring me the stupid thing about 90% of divorces are filed by a woman. That's not true. And two, when a woman files a divorce, she's not walking away from the family. That 90% of the time a woman filed for divorce, she leaving for cheating. She leaving for beating. I'm coaching the women who done went through a divorce every single day. So I get to hear not what you reading on Google. I get to hear from the mouth of the woman why she had to divorce her man. One time I've heard a woman tell me, and I told her this, I say, you the only person I've ever heard say this. out of the thousands and thousands of women I've talked to, she says she left her man. And this was actually on the part of the project that we doing. So y'all watch it, you gonna see what I'm talking about. I think it was her. Say she left her man because he didn't keep his promise. Because he said he was gonna do this, this, and this with his life, and he didn't do it. And a few years into it, she walked away. If I'm remembering correctly. And I'm like, whoa, I ain't never heard that. Most time when I hear a woman say she divorced her husband, it was he wouldn't stop cheating. That's the only thing that I hear. I've never heard a woman say, I left him because he got ugly. I left him because he gained weight. I left him because I wanted a younger man. I left him because I wanted a bigger dang-a-lang. I've never heard that as an excuse. So people paint their narrative in the world, in the media, for what they want. But that's not the reality and the truth. So what I bring to you is the reality and the truth of the matter. And so the number one reason why men fear falling in love is because men cannot trust themselves. So therefore, they cannot trust a woman. So because men don't believe that they could be faithful, they don't believe that the woman could be faithful. A man's greatest fear is giving his all and not getting her all in return. So instead, he reserves his all and hopes to get her all. A man fears taking a risk with his heart and losing, because men know the makeup of men. See, here's the thing. Women lose all the time. Miscarriages, being cheated on, being beat on, fibroids, PCOS, perimenopause, menopause, menstrual cramps. Women lose all the time. And so God made a woman's brain more elastic in the sense of emotional intelligence. Yes, a woman could crash out. Men crash out way easier. Men do not have the mental fortitude that women have. And before you speak, listen and look, and you will see the truth for yourself. A woman could be cheated on and she will forgive and stay. How many men do you see get cheated on? I'm talking about physical cheating. I ain't talking about emotional cheating, none of that. I'm talking about physical cheating. How many men do you see allow another man to put a thing, his thing, in his woman, and that man stay? The only men who do that, 99% of them are gay. So they don't really care. They actually want to see the man thing that went in the woman. Show me a picture of it. That's what they talking about. How big is it? Let me see it. That's what they want to see. 99% of the men, 99.9% of men who get cheated on leaving. And before he leave, he gonna cheat back. And he gonna try to hurt her 10 times more than she hurt him, and then he still leaving. So that's why men afraid to fall in love. Now, I don't know if what I said on the other video, but what y'all also got to understand is there's no complete video, because it's caveats and nuances. So when you see a video that's 10 minutes long, 20 minutes long, that's not the whole story. So you trying to wrap your head around it and completely understand it, you got to sit tight to fully understand. And some things, see, these things are the wonders of the world. These things are human mysteries, what I'm trying to explain. So our finite mind is never going to be able to fully understand it. But what I'm bringing to you is a real life, from real studies, from real work, from being in the trenches, not going on podcasts trying to get famous like y'all doctor with a breast dot. But I sit and do the work. I just talk to 8 clients an hour at a time. I'm in the trenches. So what I'm bringing you, it's the real deal. So y'all listen and apply. Every day somebody tell me, Tony, I watch your videos and I listen, and now I'm in a loving relationship. Now I'm married. Now we married with kids. If you listen and stop trying to just wrap your head around everything and debate, if you listen, I'm gonna give you the secrets. Cause I'm doing, while you on that job studying that company work they giving you, I'm studying the heart of mankind. And so ladies, stay out my comments complaining about the lot God gave you in life. That's what happened to Lot's wife. She ain't want to listen. She want to complain. She want to look bite. Stop complaining about the responsibility that you've been entrusted with. Pressure is a privilege. That's what you got to understand. Like, be happy that God saw you fit to have to carry something different. It may not be seen as more, it's different. Oh, that sounds like it's a woman's job to keep a man faithful. If I didn't say it's a woman's job to keep a man faithful, then that's not what it means. You listen to somebody who use words for a living. Don't get caught up trying to infer with a finite understanding. Listen to what I'm saying. So when I say a woman could help a man fall in love by asking better questions, by talking less and listening more. That doesn't mean it's a woman's responsibility. That means shut up and listen. That means stop talking so much about what you think and what you believe and what you want and what you did and what you went through and what you didn't go through, and understand that the more you talk, the less he talk. But the more he talks, the more he falls in love. Because a man don't want to hurt a woman who he has told his entire life story and all his business to. A man don't want a woman free and roaming in this world with his darkest secrets. He want to keep you so close to him. He want to keep you so pleased and so happy, because he never wants you to go out and tell what he been doing or what he done did. It's stuff that we do in our life as men that we will never tell a woman. It's certain details that you just would never articulate. And the same is the other way around. You ain't telling your man how many inches you done took in the mouth, in the rear, in the front. You ain't telling him that. Why aren't you telling him that? because it's not going to benefit him. It ain't going to better his life. So it ain't worth talking about. And when he asks you, you're going to lie about it because you know the truth going to replay on his mind and it's going to haunt him forever. So that's not a conversation you trying to have. So guess what? You're not doing that, and you're wired for love. You built for love. You made for love because God made you the giver of birth. He made a man the pea shooter. A man shoots out the sperm, and the woman does everything else. So why are you complaining about your responsibility when God has already shown you your responsibility is greater than a man's in a relationship? Because he made you the one to carry the child. He made you the one to birth the child. Because he knows what a man is going to face is a totally different type of warfare. So you comparing apples to oranges, because you got to ask yourself this: do you want to go fight and kill to conquer land? Do you want to go hunt and have to fight and wrestle animals to feed the family? Do you want to have to be on the front line when it comes to protecting the family? Do you want to have to put the family on your back and provide entirely for the family? No. So a man got a totally different type of warfare. So if God asks you, hey, I want you to love and I want you to nurture, what you complaining about? Because the man is being asked to do what he's called to do. So you got to understand that men, we got our own tasks. We got our own goals and roles. We got our own things that we have to do. See, our mind is wired completely different. Also, most men play combat sports: boxing, wrestling, football, MMA. We dealing with a whole different type of brain trauma. I done been hit in my head over 1,000 times. My wife ain't never been hit in her head. And I've been hit in my head just doing what society says a man supposed to do. Play sports. Play football. That's a rite of passage. Fight. That's a rite of passage. So you got to understand that when you on this channel is 95% or 94% women. So the message is going to be 95% of the time to a woman. It doesn't mean that a man is exempt. It means that a man just have to invert the information, and he got to get the videos and the messages that is for him. But what you have to realize is women have the influence. Men have power. Women have influence. Men are kings. Men are presidents. But those men are influenced by women. Those men are influenced by their mothers. Those men are influenced by their wives. Those men could be built by a woman or destroyed by a woman. A woman has a different type of power, and you have to understand. Look what the man just did, the coach. He took and cheated on his wife. The woman he cheated with turned him in. Her going to tell on him got him fired, and he lost $12-13 million. She was allowed to keep her job. So yes, we can say he did it to himself because he cheated. But guess what? She was in the affair with him too. But her position and her power and her influence got him fired. She cannot be fired because she reported the violation. So therefore, she still got a job. So you got to realize that a woman has a different type of influence. If a woman goes to the police and say, he R-word me, that man whole life off of one sentence. Just like the lady said about Emmett Till and later said she lied. This boy lost his life. So you got to understand, well, much is given, much is required. So just because it's your role as a woman to teach a man how to love, you teach your son how to love, you teach your husband how to love if his mama didn't teach him how to love. Yes, that is your responsibility. Suck it up. Yes, that's what you have to do if you want to be loved. If his mama didn't teach him because she was swinging from anger lanes, or she was in love with him and made him her husband, she coddled him and spoiled him. If his mama didn't teach him, you're going to have to teach him. But how do you teach him? You teach him by what you stop, what you allow, and what you reinforce. Don't think that teaching him means you got to sit him down at the table with a pen and pad like a child getting tutored. You teach him how to love by your self-love. What you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. That's how you teach a man how to love. But if you go in and you only thinking about yourself and what you want out of the situation, and you only care about being heard, and you doing all of the talking, he'll never fall in love with you, because he's never even been able to fully express himself to you. But who a man tells his secrets is who he will never let go. So stop deflecting and pouting in the comments and get the lesson that's for you. And trust that the same way you got to get the lesson for you, the man will have to get the lesson for him. But men learn differently than women. So a man is watching how I love my wife. He's watching how I praise her. He's watching how I promote her. He's watching how I prioritize her. He's watching how I'm in her life. He's watching how I date her, how I take her on vacation, how I raise our kids in the home with her. Men learn differently. So while you learn audibly, because you can hear, comprehend, and apply, every single time I show up, I'm teaching a man how to be a man. Every single day I remain married and faithful without scandal on my name. I'm teaching a man how to love a woman. So see, you got to understand that ain't nothing missing. Ain't nothing left out. It's just sometimes I'm driving while I'm talking. So get the message and stop deflecting. Get what's for you and accept what God has called you to. Look at all Ruth had to do just to get her Boaz. You got to understand that men and women are different. So get that in your life and everything gonna go right. Learn. Listen and learn. Oh, it seems like the woman, you seem like you trying to say the woman responsible for the man, for teaching the man. And it's like, you are. But you got to know what that means. It don't mean he your child. It don't mean you sitting down with a pen and paper. It means you love yourself enough to walk away if he won't grow and change. That's what it means. So you got to learn while you trying to hear. Stop trying to be heard. This one lady, she always trying to be heard in the comments, writing a dissertation. Hush and listen. Hush and get the lesson. Come on out. Go potty. I had to tell another lady, be quiet telling me about how to do with my dog. We black. We don't have dogs in the bed. Yes, my dog got a crate. I'm not finna let my dog be running around like no human being. It's a dog. That's y'all problem now. Be around here worshiping animals. It is a dog. So absolutely it got a crate. Shut up. You're talking about, hey, don't get a dog if you got to have a crate. Ma'am, everybody got a crate for their dog. Your little dirty behind. If you ain't got no crate, something wrong with you. You need to have a crate. Our dog go in the crate at night. You know why? Cause she bad. And she like to walk around the house and doo-doo. And she is not no baby no more. She done been around here, but she like to doo-doo where she want to doo-doo. And yes, she doo-doo outside, and she know how to doo-doo outside. But when she find her rug, she want to doo-doo. But you know what she won't doo-doo? In her crate. And you know what she come out of when she was born? A crate. We brought her at the kennel. In a crate. So, hush. Y'all acting like this a child trapped up. It is a dog. And she fed well. She's a millionaire. She eat good. She live good. She got AC. She got heat. She got food and water. She not complaining. She be just happy. She get right in her crate, lay in her soft plush $60 bed that she get a new one every week, and she be just fine. And then when we let her out, she have her good old time. So hush. It is a dog. And see, that's y'all problem right there. What you got to realize is that's why you can't have honest content creators. That's why the content creators just get on here and want to milk you for money and use you, because we got to listen to all these unsolicited opinions. So nobody want to work with heart and soul and true love. I talked to a lady today. She say, Tony, she from another country. She say, Tony, you the realest person that I done seen online. She say, you the only person I listen to that is authentic. You the only person that keep it all the way real. You the only person that tell it how you tell it. She was like, yeah, it's some other good people, but don't nobody tell it how you tell it. And you all the way authentic. And you say what you want to say, even if it's going to hurt. And she was like, I respect that. And she was like, so you the only person out of all the people I watch on YouTube that I care to talk to. And see, that's the thing. I got to keep that. So in order for me to keep that, that's why I be checking people who get out of line in my comments, because you're not finna ruin my space. You're not finna ruin what God called me to do. You're not finna make this feel like no job or no chore to me, because I'm walking in my purpose and my calling. So I'm going to tell you to shut up. And if you want to be talked to nice and sweet, then go to my brother R.C. Blake's page. But on my page, I'm younger. I'm 41. I'm not nobody granddaddy. So guess what? I'm finna get with you. Hush and listen. And if you don't want to hush and listen, go on over there and sit down where you can hear your nice, well, you know what? And I talked to my brother R.C. Blaze the other day. He said, man, these people don't want to listen. Man, these people don't want to listen. But guess what? That's what God you have seasons and generations. That's why my dad generation, R.C. Blake's generation, they able to talk nicer. So when I offend the client, I say, you need to hire my dad. Because I'm not the one for you. You got to realize, I'm a former drug dealer. You got to realize, I'm a former sleeping with a pillow, with a gun under my pillow. I'm a former riding around 21 hours a day with a gun in my lap. Like, I done transitioned to a clean, good life. But I come with a different type of tenacity and a different type of hustle and grind because of the chances that I went out there and took and risked my life before getting my life together. So my message gonna come a little more raw. It's gonna be a little more real. You gotta understand what I come from. You feel me? I don't come from college. I ain't got no college degree. I ain't got no mentors other than my father. I ain't got all that. So I'm gonna give it to you real and raw. And when it's time for a man to hear what he got to hear, a man gonna hear it. When it's time for a woman to hear what she got to hear, a woman gonna hear it. I just did a video the other day called "We Need You to Be a Better Man," and here go the man in the comments. Oh, his man pandering. It's like, how am I pandering, telling you what you need to do, punk? How am I pandering to a woman and I'm talking to you man to man? So now the message is for you and you think it's for a woman. Talking about I'm pandering. It ain't got nothing to do with a woman. I'm pandering. How that's gonna benefit me if I'm talking to a man? How is a woman gonna benefit me on a message to a man? That don't make no sense. But you see, the thing is that evil spirit that the devil placed in us, to where when the message is to the woman and the onus is on her and the responsibility on her, she wanna deflect. When the message is to the man and the onus is on the man and the responsibility is on the man, he want to deflect. So that's what Satan's goal is, to get a generation of people who only want to point the blame and nobody want to accept responsibility for change. But what you don't realize is that if you change, your atmosphere changes. If you change, your situation changes. So when you change, when you say, Lord, I'm going to be fully responsible for what you call me to do, that's when you reap the reward that he has for you. But as long as you sulking and complaining, well, this ain't fair. It sounds like I gotta do more. It sounds like it's all on me. It sounds like that's my unisex voice for the men and the woman. My life changed. My relationship changed when I changed. My relationship changed when my wife changed. When we shut up and stop, well, the woman got to do this. Oh, well, the man got to do this. And we say, you know what? Let me grow as a person. Let me be better. Come on, Bella. That's when it changed for the better. Hey, buddy. You ain't let your dog steal none of your food, did you? Okay. But hey, I'm home from work. I've been working all day. So got to put this phone down. Be present at this here house. See, that's all a man need to learn right there. From this whole video right there. Be present. So God bless you. All the important links in the description. You can't see me because I'm black. And so all the important links in the description. And I dropped my sessions back from 200 to 150. So for those y'all at 200, go ahead and get your 150. I dropped it to 150 because after talking to the young lady today from overseas, she told me how blessed she was for it to be affordable. And it was so cool for me to be talking to somebody from overseas. So I want to keep it around at that rate so I could keep talking to people. So, hey, God bless you. Keep your head up. Keep going. We'll be in touch.